So Gennady Golovkin stops Osumanu Adama in 7 rounds. Knocked him down, I think it was 3 times. Was it 3 or 4 times? En route. But it wasn't the best performance of Golovkin's career. Now, the first thing I noticed, because I'd never seen Adama fight before, but the first thing I noticed is that Adama was very crude. He was quite slow. He had horrible technique. He was very jittery. He had poor balance. There was no rhythm or smoothness to his boxing. He just looked like a very, very low quality opponent, to be honest with you. No disrespect, but this guy did not look world class in the slightest. All right. And Golovkin won, and he won most of the rounds. I think, Adama maybe won possibly 1 or 2 rounds in the fight. But the alarming thing for me was, as limited as Adama was, you could see that Golovkin was having a few problems with Adama's reach. And maybe Adama's size, because Adama was a big middleweight. That's one thing I'll say for him. He was game and he was a big middleweight. And he had a much longer reach than Golovkin. And he was able to hit Golovkin with a jab. It wasn't it was a flicking jab. But at one point, he did actually bust Golovkin's nose and remind people that Golovkin is still human. He bust Golovkin's nose, and even more alarming, at one stage, he actually seemed to hurt Golovkin to the body. And had Golovkin been in there with a better fighter, he might have found himself in trouble. Now, anyone can get hurt to the body, but Adama was so crude. His punches were so poorly delivered. It was a little worrying to see Golovkin troubled like that. And I don't know if anyone else agrees with me, but to me, he seemed like he really did hurt Golovkin. Golovkin even backed off when he got hit with that body shot. I don't know if he was playing possum, but to me, it looked like he got hurt. And it's possible that Golovkin's weakness may be to the body. So that's something that future opponents may want to look at. Had Golovkin been in there with a guy who, basically Adama tried to box. He tried to stay on the back foot and box. And had Golovkin been in there with a more competent opponent and a more skilled opponent who was better at that kind of thing, with a big long reach like Adama, Golovkin might have found himself in serious, serious trouble. So I don't want to be too harsh on Golovkin. Obviously, no fighter is perfect. The greatest fighters of all time were not perfect. They all had off nights and stuff like that. But this just comes as a timely reminder to people that Golovkin is not invincible. So don't get carried away. And for those of you who did not spot any chinks in Golovkin's armor, or maybe you think Golovkin was just allowing Adama to have a little bit of success, just to carry him a little bit, to give the fans, something to look at for 7 rounds, a little bit of value for money, I can understand that viewpoint, but I don't particularly agree. I think he did have genuine issues in there. Again, he won the fight. He dominated the fight for the most part, but there was a few little warning signs in there that Golovkin might not be the all-conquering destroyer that a lot of fans seem to think he is. So anyway, drop your comments below. Let me know how you felt about the fight. Maybe you saw it completely different to me. I don't know which version you were watching, which commentators you were listening to, but I was watching the Box Nation version, which was some sounded like South African commentators. So, they were pretty entertaining, to be fair. I mean, without meaning to be. I wasn't really paying too much attention to what they were saying in terms of their opinion colouring the fight or colouring my perception of the fight. I thought that Golovkin, he obviously won and he dominated for the most part, but he did have some issues. And Adama actually gave him the best fight. This is the strange thing about it. Even though Adama did go down several times, I think he had more success against Golovkin than any fighter has in quite a few years. Yeah, if you ain't seen the fight, go check it out, see what you think. Yeah, so drop your comments below. This is Hatman, I'm out.